Right now, one of the biggest breakouts on Bitcoin is only just getting started. And with right now, this very important 1 hour downward sloping resistance line getting broken right now, I think something big is about to happen any moment soon here. So on today's update video, of course, I will be talking about the price targets I have for Bitcoin right now. I want to be exactly talk about the liquidity, not only on Bitcoin, but more importantly, I want to be diving in towards the liquidity heat map on Ethereum, because there is right now no lower side liquidity piling up, and there are billions of dollars in short liquidations laying around the $4,500 to $4,600 level. So I will be exactly discuss that, and of course the reasons why I think Ethereum is about to see another major run towards the upside. So this and much more will be getting discussed on today's update video. So don't forget to once again slap on that like button back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated, and let me jump straight away in today's update video. So first of all, I quickly want to give an update on my current ongoing trades on Bitcoin. So of course, if you've been following the channel, you know that I've been having them open for quite a while. I set these orders up already quite a long time ago, but now the majority of my trades are once again back in profit. So that is of course ultimately very great to be seeing. And yes, ultimately I'm still expecting a bigger continuation towards the upside for Bitcoin. So what we're looking at right now is a major falling wedge pattern. And yes, what we're seeing here is, of course, that the major downward sloping resistance line for the Bitcoin price action on the top side is now getting broken. And actually, this downward sloping resistance line that previously around was acting as resistance is now starting to flip into support and actually provided a bounce towards the upside for Bitcoin on yesterday's retest. And if I dive even deeper in towards the lower time frames, you can start to see that even this 1 hour time frame resistance line, which I by the way discussed also on yesterday's video, and of course I mentioned the fact that it was going to be likely that we're going to be breaking above this level, and you can see that yes, we broke above this level, and whenever we did so, we did saw this major follow through towards the upside. So Bitcoin also broke the 1 hour downtrend, but ultimately still, if I am looking at Bitcoin, we are clearly still seeing a lower high structure included with lower lows on the lower side. And yes, I will be saying that I think Bitcoin is going to be hitting the $123,000 on the breakout of this falling wedge pattern. But there is one criteria that I need here, and that is to have a confirmed breakout above the $113,000, which is obviously the previous high for Bitcoin. So for me, the structure on the lower time frames is very important to analyze, because whenever Bitcoin is going to be breaking clearly above this high right here, it confirms that we're breaking the downward sloping trend structure with lower highs every single time. And of course, if Bitcoin right now tops out and of course comes down back below the $105,000, we're just confirming another lower low together with another lower high. So for now on, in my opinion, the breakout is not confirmed yet. It will only get confirmed whenever we break above $113,000. And whenever we do so, I think we're going to be running all the way up towards $123,000. And yes, of course, if we're also looking at the CME gap, it is likely that we're going to come towards the upside to go towards that 116.9K level, because that is ultimately where the major CME gap is still laying, and about 95 to 98% of all the CME gaps, and here's a crazy fact, about 99.6% of all the CME gaps get filled up here, so the chance of this one getting filled up fairly soon is also extremely big right now. So Bitcoin creating a CME gap, and ultimately I think this is going to get filled up here. It is only a matter of time now here. So at the same time, while we're looking at Bitcoin, we're starting to see that at this moment, we're seeing, of course, still lower lows, but the momentum is clearly diverging. The MACD is flipping bullish. Of course, the drops are getting smaller and smaller, and it is basically indicating us that sellers are starting to get very exhausted. And here on the 12-hour time frame, we can also start to see we're creating this upward sloping trend line, and every single time Bitcoin retests this level, we bounce from it. And yet again, that has been the case again here. So I'm very excited about Bitcoin. I think we're most likely once again going to see a bounce from off this level. Ultimately, we're coming very close towards the next FOMC meeting. And in this next FOMC meeting, we're going to see the next rate cut come in here, which has been a very long time since we got one. And yeah, the data that is going to get released tomorrow, which are the jobless claims here, is going to be absolutely crucial for this data. Then looking at the liquidity heat map for Bitcoin, it is, in my opinion, very hard to call exactly where it is heading towards, since this liquidity is still being built up above us and below us. But ultimately, if we're looking at Bitcoin, we're creating a very similar structure like over here, We're seeing clearly liquidity being grabbed below us. And you can see if you're just purely looking at the highs here, basically what we do, we break below the range support, and then we grab the liquidity. Also over here, we break below the range support, grab liquidity, and move back towards the upside again here. And what we have seen over here is also the same. We break below the low here, grab liquidity, move towards the upside. So this is something Bitcoin does all the time here and is yet again playing out here. And obviously, where I am paying most attention towards is, of course, this exact pattern right here, which is, of course, the falling wedge pattern, because this is one of my most favorite patterns to be trading. And the price target is always on the top side of the wedge here. And that is, of course, at $123,000 level. So still aiming for that level. Then, of course, I want to be mentioning the fact that currently we're also retesting the bull market support band. Bitcoin is on one of its most important levels of support from the bull market. And historically, if we break below this level, we tend to see a bear market getting started. And now Bitcoin is exactly bouncing from off this level. And ultimately, you have this blue line sitting below us. And this is the most critical level here, because if we break below that level, that is going to confirm the true end of the Bitcoin bull market. Because this level, if you're going to look back at all the previous bear markets, whenever we broke below this blue line here, so that was over here, the bear market started. And if we go back to 2017, the moment we broke below that level was over here. Boom. That was the point the bear market also officially started. So this is a very critical level. And I just want to be mentioning the fact that whenever we break below this level, I am going to be flipping extremely bearish on Bitcoin. But of course, that is not the case yet so far. Then, of course, also on the Bollinger Bands, Bitcoin is back at support and the Bollinger Bands is extremely tight. So we could be expecting major volatility is going to be hitting the markets anytime soon here. And if we're looking at the MVRVZ score, which is basically the under/overvalued metrics, if the market is overheated or maybe still has potential to go higher, it currently still shows us the market is not overheated yet. And that ultimately makes myself very bullish. And if you're then also going to be looking at the CoinGlass peak bull market indicator, you can see that currently out of the 30 indicators that are predicting bull market tops, 0 of them have flashed yet so far. So this means that right now it is actually still a great time to be, of course, long in the market. And that is exactly what my strategy remains to be so far. I don't think this is going to be lasting forever. But of course, as soon as this is going to be flipping and we're going to hit bull market peak indicators, you will be the first one to know if you are subscribed to the channel. And of course, guys, if you are subscribed to the channel, you also exactly know what me and my trades are doing. So there's also another reason why you should subscribe, because I share these trades step by step on my YouTube channel. Also in my private Telegram group, which you can, by the way, also join using the second link in today's video description. But more importantly, guys, if you want to be trading Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, or whatsoever, if you right now sign up an account, use that first link in today's video description, you'll get not only a 25% fee rebate, which makes Weex the cheapest exchange to operate on, you will also get an insane additional deposit bonus up to $30,000. So make sure to check it out in the link description of today's video if you're looking for an exchange where you want to be trading on and it's actually very cheap to operate on and is very user-friendly. Weex is definitely the way to go here. So don't forget to claim that free 25% fee rebate. It is definitely worth the try here. And then, of course, coming towards Ethereum, this is maybe my most favorite part here. Of course, I remain to be in my long trade on Ethereum. Still about $500,000 in profit, but of course I am aiming for about a 2 million profit. So yeah, I have already my take profit set up here. But personally, I think if I look at Ethereum, it is going to be running ever so slightly higher because the bull market is not over yet here. So we see this major liquidity piling up above us. I ultimately think Ethereum is going to be exactly grab this liquidity. This is going to be a no-brainer. If you look at the Ethereum exchange liquidity heat map, you can just see all the majority of the liquidity is currently laying above us. And that is why I think Ethereum is about to make another run here. And of course, if you look at the daily time frame, you can see, yeah, ETH compared to Bitcoin has been very strong most recently. But ultimately, I think this trend is going to continue. We're in the middle of a parabolica. And truly, if we're also looking at the 4-hourly time frame, we're creating another falling wedge pattern, exactly the same as Bitcoin. So whenever we break the downward sloping trend line, I think we're going to get a big squeeze here. And most of the charts are also showing big bullish divergences, which is making myself extremely bullish. And of course, now the market has been a little bit waiting on the sidelines, but soon this is going to be changing again here. Whenever the money is going to be returning and flowing back towards Bitcoin and Ethereum, we are going to see some very big runs come up again here. I mean, the last few days have indeed been very boring, especially for Bitcoin. But of course, for Ethereum, what we're seeing right now on the daily time frame is just an ever so slight consolidation, but this is not going to be lasting forever, because I do think the next major move is about to get initiated again. Liquidity is piling up here. A big move is truly imminent. So guys, this is what I'm doing with my trades. This was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, slap the like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.